All right, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everyone. I am back again with another video about literature and legislation, and the one I wanted to bring to you is completely off topic from PFAS. It is the SAVE Act. Not only do I have some notes right here, just to kind of touch on it to make it as precise and educational and correct, up to date as possible, but as well, the reason why I'm bringing this to you, ladies and gentlemen that are watching this, and non-binaries, is simply because Women's International Day was the other day, on Sunday, and I wanted to put a little bit of education out there for the world to see why we're doing this, right? Why are women advocating for the rights, so on and so forth. So, the SAVE Act, okay? The SAVE Act, in short, is the Safeguard American Voters Eligibility, okay? Safeguard Americans Voter Eligibility, acronym of SAVE, which I generally believe to be a juxtaposition. The goal, in short, is to vet or verify individuals who are voting so that not only, one, are they voting correct, but illegals aren't voting, even though illegals can't vote. Metaphorical drink opens, because I've been drinking it already. That is really good. What this bill is going to do is, as well, modify the NVR of 1998, which is the National Voters Registration. There's a lot that I want to get into in terms of modifying it and how things will change, but I think that, in short, I want to make this as digestible and informative as possible. This is not to fearmonger. This is all public information, and everything that I've accrued is public information as well. I'll be putting links in the video for any of the platforms that I share this on, so you can see for yourself and have discernment whether I'm lying or missing some things. Now, why is this an issue? Because there's a cause and effect. There are ramifications and implications of what this bill means. It is stating that you have to have some form of acknowledged papers or literature that is acknowledged by the government so you can vote. So let's say, for example, I'm Quentin Postel. I was born Quentin Postel, and I go to college as Quentin Postel, and I'm married. I'm still Quentin Postel. I'm fine. It seems that all facilities of documentation that I have are not only up to date and accurate, but they all coincide in terms of the way they are articulated and perceived on paper. But let's say somebody like my wife, Lindsay. She was born Lindsay Marks, and then she went to college as Lindsay Marks, and then she found a man, got married, and she changed her last name to Lindsay Postel. Well, now we're looking at something that is almost conflicting, because her birth certificate and her passport don't actually match her ID or her license, because she is now married. So do you think someone who's now married has the right to vote like I do? Well, as you can tell from reading this or watching this, you are correct. They do not. Somebody who has conflicting, okay, questionable last name, first names from the birth certificate or IDs cannot vote. So not only does this disenfranchise millions upon millions of women, but this also disenfranchises Native Americans, tribal communities, young students, people who are transitioning, or people who just decided to change their name because they want to reinvigorate their lifestyle, their maybe atone for something, or kind of just reinvent themselves. And now we have a piece of paper that was supposed to be passed through Congress, passed through legislature, just brought forth, that was supposed to be about the integrity of voting in America. But now we're actually seeing that it is an extremely shadowed, discriminatory, and prejudiced practice bill. This bill would also, right, hinder low-income communities, rural areas, or people do not have the financial stability to be able to afford multifaceted documentation to prove who they are. The patriarchy for a very long time has incentivized women to not only take their husband's last name, but now the patriarchy is stifling their voice and discontinuing their ability to vote, because they're saying that they're ineligible because they took their husband's last name. And by the way, this goes as well to individuals and couples who decided to maybe go on and make a new last name, or if the husbands decided to take their wife's last name, right? So we're going to see a plethora of it affecting women, right? But as well, it can affect both genders, both sexes. So it's not just a one-sided thing. Just historically and statistically, there are more women who change their last names via marriage than men. This also goes down the same rabbit hole for transgender individuals and allies, or anyone in those concepts or spectrums, because if they want to, like I said, re-identify themselves or change their names, they are now discontinued from being able to have the same American rights that we do, as someone who decided to keep the same last name. So I want a lot of people to really look into this legislature and look into this literature, see who's sponsoring the bill. By the way, if you want to look it up, it is House Bill, HR 122 S-128. This will be affecting millions upon millions of individuals. And I just want to kind of bring a little bit of that to light. So thank you guys for watching. If you could please share this to get the message out. And that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next video.